Welcome to Ty and Ride, a Finance Guy's Market Mini Report, a short podcast that updates you on the past week's important topics and trends. Remember, this is not an offer to sell, and past performance does not guarantee future returns. Here are Ty Hansen and Ryan Robertson.
Hello and welcome to another Market Mini, ending for the week September 24th. And it's been a pretty wild week, to say the least. So the markets opened up earlier in the week down about 1 to 2%, and it was pretty wild there for a few days, Monday to Tuesday. The nice thing is markets have calmed down. We've recapped most of that, and things are good. Things are pretty calm. Yeah, a couple of thoughts, a couple of things moving around with that, to kind of talk about with that. The other thing too is we also saw some big sell-offs this week in cryptos. Cryptos took a little bit of a hit this week, double digits, that 10 to 20% range, depending on which cryptos you're holding. So again, a wild ride this week, right? A couple of thoughts again. So again, I've been stressing this a lot with a lot of clients this week. The market's still good. I'm not of the mindset right now that this sell-off is hey, we're heading for the hills. Things are getting really bad. Is this inflation hosing us? Is the economy tanking? It really isn't that. In fact, if anything, we're still seeing pretty good economic data. With the exception this week, we did see a pop. No, I shouldn't say a pop. A bump in unemployment data, which again, we're starting to see unemployment fluctuate, getting a little bit better. Still have good job creation and everything, but not really getting the people picking up jobs that we would expect. But that's not really the big factor here, though. That's not why markets had a sell-off this week. Again, if anything, in my opinion, the economic data looks good, and I still think we're on track to see more gains in the next little bit. Again, not 100%. Nobody knows that for sure, but just some of the general data that I'm seeing. So, really, a little bit of the fear in the market came from Evergrande. It's a large, in fact, the largest real estate firm in China. And so the concerns here are, with some of the economic slowdown in China, things like that, we're starting to get some information. We're starting to see this idea that maybe it's a bubble, right? That China may be sitting on a bubble that might pop. And since Evergrande is such a big part of China's economy, that's kind of the concern. And the idea is that might have some ripple effects into the U.S. economy, other worldwide, economic positions. So it's interesting. It really is. I don't think that was enough to really, like I said, shake the market to a point that we should have much concern. And China is looking and toying with the idea of stepping in if they need to. The main thing here is just that it's a big deal what's going on in China right now, and it's one of those things that we'll just kind of have to watch that and see how that progresses. So, other than that, like I said, market still ended up, we were pretty close, if not positive, depending on what positions you're invested in. But a good roller coaster this week, to say the least. But in my opinion, I think we've still got some gains ahead of us before the end of the year. And I know I've talked about it a few times the last couple of market minis, but it's weird. We just, we see this, I don't know what you want to call it, this little bit of a correction, a sell-off, again, whatever you want to call it. September's and October, we see it. Again, I don't like to prescribe to this, annualized trends, but it's holding suit with what we've seen in the last few years. So anyways, that's the market this week. Turbulent ride, ended up fairly okay. Again, except cryptos. Cryptos got beat up, pretty good. Actually, quick side note there too. A big thing we're starting to see is different governments stepping in and chiming into their thoughts on crypto, whether they'll allow it or not. So China's talking about that a little bit, like, we may not allow this. I don't know. There's a lot of rumblings that way. So anyways, that's the market, and hope you have a great weekend. We appreciate you listening. Again, check us out at Ty and Rye, Ty and RY, tyandrye.com. Appreciate the listen, and again, have a lovely weekend. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Ty and Rye, the Finance Guys. This is our weekly market mini report. New episodes of this will be put out every Monday, so make sure you don't miss those. Also, the longer podcasts, more in-depth discussions, those will drop every Saturday. So subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, or follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Ty and Rye Podcast. That way you don't miss any new episodes. Thanks for listening, everybody. Hope you have a great week.